Hey there, welcome to Something About Tabletop. My name is Master Blar, and with me today is...
The lovely, lovely hobo.
Yeah, if you do not know, quite recently a source book came out that has been wanted for since Shadowrun came out. I think it was actually in Shadowrun. It said that this book was going to come out. It is Data Trails. It's all about, well, the Matrix. We're just doing a first impressions. We've read some of it, not all of it.
It said that the Resonance Realms were going to be talked about in Data Trails.
Yes,
back when 5th edition first came out.
I'm pretty sure they were. They talked about the Resonance Realms, didn't they?
I haven't had to look through this book into the Resonance Realms, but I imagine it's talking about the Dreamland, which is, of course, where Resonance is alive, so probably.
The Foundation or something it was called. I can't remember.
Yeah.
I mean, we're just going to be looking at the more technical parts of this and just doing like a review of what we see straight away. And I'm going to start with this. I'm sorry, but this cover art sucks.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Like, somebody, I sent you a piece of art, actually. Yeah. And that could have been much better cover art, but this cover art is just just garbage. Like,
this one here.
Yeah, like that works as much better as cover art at least, because the thing is, whenever Shadowrun uses examples of the Matrix world, it always talks about it in terms of like a Japanese garden or the feudal setting.
Yeah, which is weird because, to be honest, depending on where you are, it's depending on what it looks like. In my opinion, a lot of the time, I don't see why a server would necessarily be so flashy, unless, of course, they're going to have public traffic on it. In my opinion, it just wouldn't be. There's no point at all.
I honestly forget all about it and just deal with things in terms of relative code rather than, maybe I'm more happy, but I just don't. I just don't see it.
Well, a hacker will be working with code. And sure, when you're actually going into a shop, most shops have a Matrix version of themselves as the host. That's fine, that makes sense. But an actual host that is just used for data storage, it's going to look more like a library, like a massive, just amorphous library, and it won't look like, it will just be like code all stored in folders. They may look kind of all matrixy and stuff and Tron-y, but that's about all I envision. I don't think of anything else as that.
Yeah,
it won't be as flashy as like a building. I mean, someone may do that, but not every single host is going to be like that, in my opinion.
Well, considering it's designed by programmers and engineers, I just always envisioned it a lot more clean and surgical rather than flashy, because flashy's a pain to deal with, where it's a lot easier to just sort of deal with clean cut stuff, not like any of this add-on fat.
Yeah. I mean, the mechanics don't really show that anyway, but there are some really new mechanics. Then we got the table of contents, which also is horrible.
Oh my god, it's garbage.
I don't know what any of these chapters mean. I look at it and I'm like, I don't know what this means.
Yeah,
so
they actually... The problem is they have that in the introduction, which is just a page down, I believe. But the problem is it shouldn't be. It should, like, your table of content should always be clean and clear. Yeah, if you go to introduction, it's got on the right there, so on page 3, it's got like on the bleeding edge offers new qualities. Born to Hack presents Decker and Technomancer based life modules. Killer App and Razorform presents new programs. But again, you shouldn't have to. That should be in the contents, not here.
Well, like, it should just be like the one that has qualities, just boom, page number qualities. The one that has.
I mean, I get that they're going for flavor.
Like, the thing is that I mean, some of these chapters literally have just blocks of text talking about the world, which is fine. I've read some of it. It's really interesting. And for those chapters, you obviously don't have any subheadings. But for ones that have qualities, programs, where you buy shit, you should have a subheading for it. So players that are getting this book just to look at qualities and stuff can do it. I mean, to be honest, that's matter where I'm getting it.
Should just be...
Yeah, rules, exactly. I mean, actually, I think the first couple chapters are completely just text. I mean, that's cool. I mean, they have these mini stories. I haven't read it as of yet. Probably later. But yeah, the first chapter is... It's all about explaining... I mean, really, if people want to learn the Matrix, I think this is where you do it. the chapter on the Matrix is decent enough, but this has a whole lot more about it. It's talking about terms. It's talking about the new generation of the Matrix, because between 4th edition and 5th edition, there was, I think they crashed the Matrix on purpose so they could remake it. And they did. And it's now way more in corporations' favor, and it's really difficult to hack. And it talks about this. Actually, these articles are from the perspective of corpers, not hackers, which is interesting, actually. I was reading some of them. What do you think about it?
I haven't gotten it. I mean, like, I'm probably definitely going to read this book because I want to get a better understanding. But the thing is, what annoys me is, like, when I first get a Shadowrun book, what I first want to do before I do anything else, I want to see what new qualities are there, what new gear there is, like what new actual stuff that is going to impact me in game, or new options available to me. And it was just a pain in the ass finding them in this because the contents table wasn't set out well.
Oh, this is interesting. It's a Matrix basics, which is just showing what the base operating system of all these weird Commlinks are and the base persona. That's interesting. It's really weird, though, because some of these are like kimono-clad samurai.
I told you, so they have a thing for the Japanese stuff, like ninja. I mean, kimono-clad peasant.
Yeah, ninja right there. What's the Fairlight Canon? Completely black humanoid. You live on an island, and your device icon is a boat.
In a storm. That's the thing. It's way too weird and niche for me to try and remember all these and associate them with like what everyone is, and I'm not going to bother trying. I'll be honest. I mean, like, it's nice and flavorful for people who care, but like, if I do a matrix perception test and my GM tells me that you see a boat in a storm, I'm going to go, what the fuck does that mean?
Well, you get to actually know.
Yeah.
The thing is with matrix perception is usually you're meant to tell me what you want to see, but I've just been running it as I just tell you what you need to know instead. It's just easier that way.
Well, we search for silent devices.
Yeah, except for searching for silent devices, that's different.
I just don't see why you can't make generalized perception tests in the Matrix. It seems really dumb.
Oh, you can. No, but when you're basically rolling matrix perception, you roll your dice, you get 4 hits. You use hits to ask things.
Yeah, you get. So, I've done it before. I just find it annoying because, like, you can just keep making the checks. You know, I'll be at a -2, but it's not. It serves to eat up time, I find.
No, matrix perception, I think, is fine. I mean, basically, what it does. I mean, that way is a bit weird. So really, if you're a good enough GM and understand the matrix enough, you can just tell the player what they need to know. I mean, this can sometimes get rid of... I mean, obviously the player has to tell you what they're looking for. Like, what are you looking for with the matrix perception test? Because otherwise, there's too much. Like, if you're in a busy area, cool, you want to look at Commlinks, there's 100. Make a data search check. It's going to take way too long just to matrix perception this. You need to search through all the data nearby, which technically that's not what data search is for, but that's how I use it a lot of the time. It's like search through an area of Commlinks to try to find a certain one. Matrix perception just would take too long because you'd have to roll.
Yeah, but the thing is, I find that the way of like ask questions is really unfriendly to new players, especially new deckers. Like,
that's why I usually just
ask.
Yeah, that's why I usually just tell them, like I said before. But when you get good enough, you know what you're doing. Anyway, there's like a whole section of grids here. This doesn't do anything mechanically, but it's cool to actually see and more talk about grids. So there's one for every. Grids are basically like kind of like ISPs. It's weird. It's like massive servers where everything is stored on. It's like, a Google would be a grid. That kind of thing. I think that's basically what grids are.
You got the NeoNet grid. You've got the fucking Horizon grid. Every major corporation has a grid.
And
Cyberdecks, the only grid for me.
Yep, and these are international, of course. They don't just work in a certain area. Oh my god! In the grid, there's a dragon in the sky constantly looking at you. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's Dazukan as well.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, it's not Lofweir. Apparently, it's Dazukan. Yep, only grid for me.
Only grid.
Cyberdecks.
Yep. So we'll just continue. I mean, all this stuff, there's a lot of flavor, and there's local grids, and I mean, really, you can make it
Emerald
whatever you
City
want.
Grid, represent.
Yeah, so a lot of it's just text. I know there's stuff, but this isn't the interesting thing. That's not why we're here. We're here to talk, but where are the qualities?
Without actually reading them, it's not a good, like, because like we could do first impressions and this stuff, and we have. It's good, but we're not going to sit here and read this all out to you. The qualities, page 44.
But first, I'm going to get to actually. They've got groups now, which is awesome. Cyber groups. What I will say though is I think these numbers are kind of low.
Oh, they most definitely are. I think the point is that they want to encourage people to. I think they're trying to encourage like GMs to make their own ones. They're just showing like how they're done,
which is cool. Yep. Anyway, so let's go all the way to the page, what we came here for, which is the positive and negative qualities. Also, there's a whole bunch of other stuff, but that comes after these chapters. The first couple of chapters, I'm going to actually have to read a little bit more, but from what I've read, they're good reads. They give really good insight into the world, which I do enjoy. I mean, Run Faster was amazing for it. I read everything in Run Faster, apart from maybe the Empire bit. But
I just can't read these books. But I do love reading some parts. I've read a couple of stories and a couple of books, but I haven't been able to do it.
Yeah. So, I mean, we can just go down and read the qualities, but let's just kind of pick out qualities of mention instead of just reading all.
Go big or go home.
Right here, this is going to be a quality you're going to be seeing on every single decker. This one right here. So basically what it does is that in this game, when you're doing brute force or hack on the fly, when you're trying to get marks, you can take negatives. It's like -4 to get 2 marks instead of 1, and -10 to get
3 marks. Yep, but not with this.
Quality changes to -6. So you're basically always going to be doing it to get 3 marks instantly, which is
because this is the thing. Usually you are either getting 1 mark or you're getting all the marks. I don't know, usually people go halfway.
-4. If it was -2, yes, but -4 is just like, nah, there's no point. You go big.
Fade to Black's a good one.
Yeah, Fade to Black. Yeah, what's that one do? So when the opposition starts getting marks on you, yeah, so this is the one where you can get, when you get rid of marks and you get rid of all of them, you can hide for free. Which is really cool, because that will take multiple actions, which is a bitch when you're getting attacked.
Yeah, ICU is another good one, especially good for Shadowrunners that you're going to be seeing used a lot by GMs and by them, because it gives you it's basically you get used to seeing running silent devices, so you get a +2 to matrix perception to spot hidden icons and stuff.
Which is awesome. I actually like Golden Screwdriver as well, which may actually come more in handy and stuff with some of the new rules. It's basically just halves the time of the stuff that you're doing.
Ninja Vanish is a good one, actually. Have you seen Ninja Vanish?
Ninja Vanish. Even the best sometimes get clipped. And maybe you're in a host holding off some IC, but there are just too damn many of them.
That's just the flavor text. If you actually scroll down, as a free action, a character may spend 1 point of edge to remove all marks a single opponent has on him.
What?
Yeah. So, human
it doesn't
deckers.
Work in a host. Yeah, it doesn't work for a host.
Still.
But yeah, that's crazy. I mean, I'm not sure if that's worth the 5 karma, because this is bringing a lot of stuff that you want to gauge for every single.
Yeah, I mean, like it's only 10 karma to pick up later though, and it's not bad.
There's online fame, which is basically a version of fame, but for people specifically for online bloggers. But it's your icon, not you. So it's like this really weird kind of like, people may not believe you and think you as an imposer, as a poser, if you tell them that you are that person. So I don't know. It's kind of fun. Actually, there's a lot of weird upside but downside positive qualities in this. Actually, there was data anomaly, which means basically you get +2 to resisting matrix perception checks, but just sprites can see you instantly for some reason.
Yeah, I talked to Technomancer as one of the go-to ones that Technomancers are going to get from now on, because +2 just resisting fading from any source. So whether whether you're being attacked by another or you're basically resisting your own fade, it's pretty good.
I was going to say this right now. I am completely okay with people taking this quality and not having to be an otaku. I don't care.
Yeah.
Maybe just a reason, like your character's just particularly good at resisting resonance or something. Just make something up, because really, you don't have to be an otaku to get this. I mean, I get the flavor, and I could definitely see a character like that would be interesting. But yeah, nonetheless. Oh, by the way, an otaku is like a 3rd edition thing. It's basically the old Technomancer. Didn't they just get their brain was a deck? But
kind of. Yeah, it's like it's the very first one. So basically, they are like otakus with the original Technomancers before they were Technomancers were otakus, because no one over 13 was a Technomancer at the time, which was why they were called. And usually they were obsessed with the Japanese culture, which is why they were called otakus. So
well, the thing is that when reading this here, not all otakus became Technomancers, because otakus use jacks to jack into things with their brain. So it was different or some shit. I don't know. It seems weird continuity-wise, but whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. Things have changed since editions. Profile is another good one, and Prime Data Haven membership, because that gives you a quality that's a 3 loyalty, connection 5 Data Haven.
Awesome.
It's a group. Yeah, it's a group contact.
You get a profiler if you know someone. Blah, 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 blah. So what does this actually do?
That one basically. I told you about that one. Basically, when you get a dossier on someone, or you've or 1 hour to start, when you have an appropriate dossier on a person and 1 hour to study it, basically you make a matrix search test, and you can then get a bonus 3 dice to your social limit and to all social tests involving that person.
Oh,
3 karma.
That'd be really cool. That'd be really cool for like an investigator kind of face with some hacking skills. I like that.
Or just like, because you don't need hacking skills for matrix search. It's just a computer skill.
Ooh, here's one that's going to be a lot of hackers. Quick config. Free action.
I don't think so.
Free action to change deck stats is huge, dude. Seriously, it's huge. Because it takes up a lot of time. If you're in a host and you're in a situation where being attacked is a possibility.
No, it's just you know, instead of changing 1, you just change 2.
Yeah, you get to change deck stats, which is...
You could do that before, but it says you can it just says you can change 2, not 1. I'm pretty sure you could do this beforehand. I'm pretty sure it's always a free action to change deck stats. This one just makes it so you can change 2 rather than 1.
Oh, okay. I thought it was a symbol.
Don't think so. I mean, I can check that. Don't quote you can quote me on that for now, but as far as I'm aware, it's always been a free action to just change, and then just
check it now. Page 228.
Okay, 228. Reconfiguring your deck. It's a free action.
Yeah, check one.
Yeah, so 5 karma to change 2 rather than 1. I don't know. I just don't think it's worth it.
It's not. I thought it was as simple before. It's not.
No.
All right. So now we've got the negative qualities.
Oh god, negative qualities.
They've got some weird names, and I would definitely change this name. Like a boss. Are you kidding me? Basically, what this means is you can never inflict matrix damage, and damage like you can't spike anything or any attack action.
And you may be wondering, how do I do that? Because there weren't a lot of options in the base rules. There are some new actions and programs you can take now, I'm pretty sure, that allow you to not do that. But for the most part, you'll just be like getting through. Yeah, all you'll be doing is getting 3 marks and then just formatting the deck. That's all you're going to be doing.
Which is fine. That's definitely a very boss thing to do. But I just don't know why they call it like a boss. There was definitely some... They've got like literally this actually kind of annoying me. Leroy Jenkins is a quality. Look at this. Look at this. This is... No. Anyway,
no.
I actually really enjoy these other negative qualities. Though, curiosity killed the cat. While it's gone, that's saying it's just basically.
It's thrill seeking for deckers.
Yeah, you want to crack files all the time, which used to be a mentor spirit sprite thing for Technomancers actually. So that's pretty cool.
Decaying dissonance.
Oh my god! You will never sell pay data. Your WikiLeaks. Your character becomes WikiLeaks data liberator. My character is with
I am WikiLeaks.
No, this one, it's a really silly one, and it can hurt your party, but I think you can make a really cool character out of this. Decaying dissonance. So you have to be a Technomancer. There's resonance, and then there's dissonance. Dissonance is a different kind of matrix magic, and it's basically, because resonance is like what the word means, kind of everything in unison. Dissonance is obviously the opposite, and your character is affected by dissonance, and it's kind of like a mental disease. Your character slowly becomes insane, and is insane. Like, you start out insane. It's like a mental illness, but magical. And what it does is that you take a -1 penalty to all social tests. You need to make any time during combat, you just can't speak unless you spend a simple action, and a composure test, which is relatively easy to pass for a Technomancer. And then lastly, when you're inside of a host or anywhere, you compulsively change data to nonsense unless you do a composure 3 test, which is really funny. It just changes the gibberish and stuff. So this character would be like really disconnected and strange, and doesn't have the same logic as a normal human, which could just be so much fun to roleplay.
Have you seen Electronic Witness?
What's this one do?
Basically, it's 5 karma, but you never stop recording. You record everything and you archive everything. And when you're not allowed to, you become agitated. Also, if you have day job, you don't have to go to it, because your day job is simply you exist. You then sell your recordings to specialized data brokers.
Yeah, there's also a bunch of dating parties that are also positive. And Leroy Jenkins is one. Basically, Leroy Jenkins is, you will never plan for a combat. You need to make a composure 3 test, or you'll run in and just attack. That's a fine quality. 20 karma, I don't think it should be that much, in my opinion. It should be 10,
If the
15.
character roars his or her name as a free action right before the first blow is struck, they gain +1 dice on their first attack.
This is, okay, a bit of fun, and I kind of get that, but really silly.
This is for the pinkest of mohawks.
Yeah,
this is something that Lightning would have. This is something Tank Geeseman would have.
Oh, Jesus. Cameron, who we play with in our real life games, would be all over this. He would jizz all over.
Latest and greatest is such a punishing quality. You have to spend at least 60% of your earnings on upgrading stuff.
Oh my god. That's awesome, actually. There's a lot of people in real life affected by this.
I know they are, but the thing is, like, if you start off with like a $300,000 deck, like, it's guys like, I gotta get more money for the next one. Faraday himself is also the most bastardly thing ever. You are literally you generate noise, +2 noise to anyone within 10 meters around you.
Which seems a bit silly if it's called Faraday, because actually it should be on you. It would make sense if you have 2 noise to all of your checks, but it's everyone in 10 meters. Really strange.
Nerd Rage is another really, really bad one. That's kind of dumb. I mean...
Yeah, I don't like Rage. Do you want to explain it, or shall I?
It's basically being a vindictive arsehole.
It's basically a vindictive neckbeard who can't talk properly, and when he can't talk properly... So whenever you fail a social check, you get -2 to all social checks. From then on, and you compulsively, I repeat, you have to get back at the other characters. And if you don't, you keep the dice pool penalty forever. And by get back, I mean edit the files on their Commlink and be a dick. And then there's one.
Rank Warrior is one you love.
This sounds like a lot of fun as a DM, and is probably going to kill your team.
It's like Vendetta, it gives you... it's like Vendetta, only better, because Vendetta, they actually try and kill you, you don't get as much karma, and this guy just wants to fuck with you. That's what his whole... Your life and his life just revolves around fucking with each other.
Yeah, but you're constantly doing it. Like, you should definitely roll... I think this would be a lot of fun to roleplay. Basically, what happens is that once per session, the the DM attacks you with a random decker, who is this guy, and he just fucks with your shit on the Matrix.
Well,
Guns
either fucks
turn
with your
off.
shit on the Matrix, or he calls in on the Matrix that someone might be trying to infiltrate you, or he
Yeah,
hacks your
and
cyber eyes and you start seeing shit.
he'll never go the full way. He'll never destroy anything.
Yeah.
He may inadvertently kill you, but he will never intentionally kill you.
Yeah,
But
he's not trying to murder you. And then there's the 12 karma quality that really should be way more because it cripples you. You can't do high threat jobs with it. Wanted by God.
yeah, your high threat response Overwatch score is 30 instead of 40, which is really low.
So even that, you're a high value target, so a high threat response team is immediately sent out.
Yeah.
I just like for 12 karma, no way, man, no way.
It is the kind of quality that, would be good as a flavor thing.
The
But that's about it.
The next chapter after this would be one of your favorites. It's more life modules.
I've never used life modules, and
You do like them though.
I like them because it's a cool concept. I'm not sure if we'll ever play a game where we do, but this is basically all the life modules for hackers. There actually needs to be one for mages, but they already did a mage book, so whatever. There isn't any, by the way. There's barely any mage ones. There's only a few ways that you can become a mage, which, like, through spending the rest of your karma, which is kind of crappy. Anyway, I just gotta skip that one. I don't really care. It's
Oh my god,
It's just
dude! I'm looking at Commlink apps. Theme music. The last sentence is essentially the mood ring of the sixth world. It monitors your emotional state and attempts to generate a playlist to better support you, enhancing or dampening the feelings that you have.
What? That is ridiculous.
It's hilarious. I know.
They're constantly blasting your ears. Cool. Anyway,
Oh my
so
god. It also has
watching
diagnostics, which is
programs and
good.
stuff. Yeah, there's heaps of them.
The new programs, Bootstrap's a good one because Bootstrap's basically one that you essentially, when you format a device, it lets you set up how what will actually boot when you do it. So you can be like, when I reboot, broadcast my location.
Oh yeah.
And a whole bunch of other stuff, or Shredder's a good one. Search is another good one as well. Search does what it says it does. You get an extra 2 dice on matrix searching when looking for specific data or a host that contains that data. Shredder is just, of course, it's just data processing used for you get basically 2 dice. Your data processing gets +2 to it for the purpose of deleting a file with the edit action. It just shreds the file.
That's pretty cool.
It actually requires more. I think it says it requires recovering a file that's been shredded requires constant access to the file or host so the host of the grid the file was originally on, and file recovery plus logic mental 18, 1 week extended test.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Holy shit!
Yeah, Shredder's a really good one for you hackers out there. But hacking server programs, cloudless. Mwah! Mwah! It only ever will allow your data to be stored. The data that you use with cloudless only ever allows it to be stored on a physical medium.
It allows the user to successfully edit file action to move a file off the matrix into the memory of a single designated device. This is an opposed test. Why do you need a program for this that would take up a slot? This would be very easy to encode into it. Whatever. This is me thinking realistically.
I know.
This would
I
be
know
easy to do.
it's dumb. Cat Paw is another great one though. I love that. A low offense attack program that distracts the user instead of damaging the device.
Yep.
Annoying errors, spam pop-ups under distracting garbage, and a successful data spike action. Instead of doing damage, the program generates a negative dice pool modifier equal to the 2 plus the number of marks the user has on his target. Marks added or removed after use of catball will also modify the penalty accordingly.
Okay, so you only have to do it once.
Yeah. Crash is just Crash just gives +2 when you try to reboot devices, which isn't bad. But yeah, usually you have to have 3 marks before that, and usually you're pretty good anyway. Detonator, I think, is just a mobile set off a data bomb.
Yeah, that's actually pretty good. Actually, setting off data bombs wirelessly is pretty cool.
If successful, they can see select how many actions can be executed with the file before the bomb goes off. They can also choose whether the bomb does matrix damage or just detonates the file. Similar to data bomb, detonator can be used to can be detected with the matrix perception and diffused with disarm data bomb. Apparently, they're notoriously difficult to spot. Detonator-enabled data bombs are considered to have a device rating 3 and a sleaze rating attribute equal to the remaining actions before detonation. Oh, wow.
I just saw this from Fly on the Wall.
That one's a good one.
Basically, that one's really good. So right now, every single period, 15 minutes, you get 2d6 Overwatch, so you can't have long-time surveillance. This changes it to 1d6 every half an hour. That's pretty cool.
I mean, it's good because beforehand, only fucking Technomancers could do it.
And this is only when you've done nothing, though. When you're just doing matrix perception and normal perception checks through cameras and stuff you're watching. You can't do any of their action, but whatever. You're a fly on the wall after all.
Oh my god, this is... Dude, nuke from orbit.
Hitchhiker, you can take people with you into Foundations, which are real trippy dream space. Shit, yeah.
Dude, some of these ones... Basically, nuke it from orbit. Basically just... Damn. To ensure that basically you can't recover a file if they do it.
Oh my god.
But the thing is, any Overwatch score generated from the Overwatch from the opposed test is doubled. Yeah, backup farm, offline backups or resonant realms are the only way of getting the file back up. Smoke and Mirrors is a good one for Deckers. It increases the Cyberdecks sleaze attribute from between 1 and 5, usually user's choice, with an equivalent amount of noise added to any test performed with the deck. The noise also affects trace programs.
So you can give yourself a noise penalty, but it adds to your sleaze.
Which is no problem because there are a whole bunch of noise removing stuff right now, but...
Pretty sweet. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of ones, and then there's complex forms for...
Which there aren't that many, but they're all pretty funny. I mean, some of them are alright. Misread marks, of course, being the signature one. Oh my god, that is so funny.
Complex forms, yeah. There's a few more programs,
Get marks on the host. You can then use this complex form to make the IC think that everything that you have marks on is the enemy instead of you.
Yeah.
What's the IC tear its own host about?
You can make IC tear itself apart as well, because whatever you point out that has a mark just gets nuked. Spiders, and the host itself. Whatever.
And D-Res is a good one because it's basically, when you hit something, it's as it says, it's a stiletto or an ice pick as opposed to a superheated sledgehammer. Basically, when you do this, it's 1 box of matrix damage per net hit, but it drops the target's firewall attribute to 1 until the device is rebooted.
Oh my god.
So funny. Amazing. FAQ is the other one you're thinking of, I think. That's really good.
Yeah, it's just like Super Search, but it connects to things that don't make sense and normally can't be garnered. Which is good, because that used to be an echo, and now you can just get it as a complex form. Yeah. What else is there? There's a few other ones.
IC tray basically just displays all of the ICs currently equipped to it.
Yeah, it's okay.
Redundancy is basically redundancy is the supportability. You go over to your if you're say if you're the 5th man Technomancer, you go up to your decker's deck and you're like, bam, it now gains additional temporary boxes of matrix damage.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and I mean it's it's definitely support. So do you want to talk about echoes now?
Yeah, definitely. I mean this one here, what was it? FFF. What does this one do again?
You get a paint editor.
Oh, paint editor for free, which barely makes sense to me actually as an editor. But I guess you're making the matrix feel for you. I don't know. It's weird.
It adjusts things apparently. Oh my god, it's so funny. What does FFF do? It's essentially paint editor without paying for it. Mathematics is it raises the limit of it raises your mental limit for actions such as encryption and decryption.
That's cool.
Basically, you become a human calculator essentially.
Mm-hmm.
MMRI is, of course, it allows you to more easily basically jump into rigged drones.
Yep.
Yep. I would say allowing them to better jump into provides the same effect as a control rig without the data jack or data cable.
I love quiet.
Quiet's so good because we needed Technomancers. Yeah, Technomancers needed a noise reduction, and quiet's what we needed. Resonance writing's pretty funny. Basically, it just allows you to jump into Commlinks or Cyberdecks. Resonance Scream is funny, but sadly not very useful because of all of the anti-noise stuff available to normal deckers. It's good against other Technomancers mostly, but it's not very good.
Amazing. Oh,
Skinlink has always been amazing.
I love
Skinlink.
You get access to it as long as it's just obviously
Sleepwalker's also great.
Yeah, Sleepwalker's okay. It's not super amazing, actually. I don't think it is, but it's cool.
I think being able to make perception-related tests as free actions in the Matrix or real world is pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
And now we got gear. We got the Commlinks, the form factor ones, and the new Commlinks.
The form factor, yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah, you can change the non-standard form factor, weapon form factor. My Commlink is a gun.
My gun is a Commlink. Oh! Also, dongles. We can finally, we can actually have Commlink hackers again.
Can you? Oh, you can, yeah.
You do. Yeah, Commlink dongles. The attack dongle. The dongle doesn't actually attack people. However, that would be cool. It gives the Commlink an attack rating equal to its rating, providing some on-the-fly quick attack resources. Demigods love corporate employees to use these.
Yeah.
Oh, of course, because then you just... Oh my god, you can just give it to your team, and then they can just attack.
Uselessly.
No, everyone's got fail Calibans, and you just get I don't know, good rating ones, and then just attack.
Yeah, it doesn't actually. You can easily get a rating 6 one.
You can get a rating 6 to start, so you can just you can get if you get a fail Caliban and an attack dongle, then you can just attack while the decker does other things.
How many dongles can you have in a single Commlink?
Only one. You can only have one dongle.
How funny would it be if you could just get stealth dongle 6, attack dongle 6, put it on a fair Caliban, go? Have one of the best
modifications, we might be able to.
Oh my god, how funny would that be? If you could make $100,000 Commlink that's 6677, because you could do that, because I feel like Caliban 7 and the two oh my god, I wonder if you could do that.
Anyway, now we have our new Cyberdecks. So of course we've got all that under clubs, the stun dongle.
Oh yeah. This dongle turns your Commlink into a stun gun.
Yeah.
Receiver.
I gotta get my Radio Shack deck.
Oh, I actually really like this because this is something they have in the real world. It's cable tap.
Yeah.
You can just kind of loop. It's just a loop you put around cables, and then you are plugged in. I think that's cool because that's something that we have as technology now. So
Yeah,
it's cool to see
that's
that.
great. Oh, specialty decks. Do you want to talk about specialty decks?
Oh, we're going to talk about all this shit. I mean, this is why we're here. What do we got here? Yeah. So they've got a whole bunch of new decks. We're not going to really go through them. Here's the table. I'll move it in a bit. So pretty much they've got some new decks. The best deck in the game is now fucking insane. 9988. That's mental. 6 program.
It's $1 million though.
Oh, dude. Have you read the lore? Have you read the lore on this thing?
Let me see. It is the pinnacle of achievement by executives and engineers at NeoNet's Fairlight division. They have only sold 5 decks in the world and report they are filling orders for another 12. Some say that the decks cost more to manufacture than the $1 million+ asking price, making it the most top-end deck. So what you're saying is, hey guys, you want it? It's time to do a run.
You're going to be stealing this is a collector's item. To be honest, $1 million seems a low price for this kind of thing.
I know, but the thing is, I think what limits it is the fact that it's an availability 20. That's the thing.
Oh,
like that's only 4 less than a fucking Gauss rifle.
Dude, you can any good face can go against 20 on a negotiation check, man. It's not hard.
I know, but I'm just saying, like. Anyway,
like if
specialty decks are basically decks that you can't swap the deck attributes with, and you can only reconfigure its programs. That's basically it. But they're cheaper than normal decks. Like the highest end of the specialty decks is the Ares Echo Unlimited, which is 9645 and is around just shy of 400,000 new yen.
Mm-hmm. I've actually seen a deck that would go on.
Sorry, that's like they're on the cost of in between a rating 3 and 4 deck. I think it's between the Renraku Susugi and the Sony. I think I'll have a look.
Here's a deck we're going to see a lot of. Azteca 9000 attribute race 7531. Just because you can hook your Commlink to it, and then your Commlink's firewall is protecting that.
Yeah, which is really good.
Becomes 6 most likely. So you would have a 7536 for 200,000. Seems good to me.
Let me have a look. Yeah, the sorry.
Go on.
The Sony CIY 720 is 7654 and is device rating 4 and costs 345,000 new yen comparatively to the Ares Echo, which you can't configure but is a 9645 and has and is only around 50 grand more.
The thing is they do have higher attacks, which is not always needed.
No, but I mean, like.
But I think this setup is fine. 9645 is awesome.
The thing is, you could always buy one of those and then do the same thing, get a Fairlight Caliban, and then strap it on.
You'll only be getting 2 more. That's the thing is, the Fairlight you actually need to get restricted gear to do it.
Yeah. Cyberdeck modules. Here's the goods. Oh, I love Cyberdeck modules.
So yeah, each Cyberdeck has one module in its case. We'll talk about this later because something comes in about it.
Oh, it's about to come in soon.
Oh well, that's electronic parts. We'll talk about that. So there's hardening, which basically gives you. It's just kind of slotted on stuff, and when they're destroyed forever. So, and they're actually really cheap. They're really cheap for what they do.
Yeah.
So
one of them reduces noise by 2.
Yeah.
One of them is self-destruct.
That is so stupid, by the way. You put this on your deck, you want your deck to explode.
Yeah, it even says don't put one of these into a Fairlight Paladin. Program carry is a good one. Overwatch Mask increases your Overwatch score by 4, which, I mean, I don't think it's really worthwhile picking up. I think it's better to get like a program carrier or just anything else.
Matrix initiative, nigga.
Yeah, I mean, like, you're gonna fight a lot, but at the same time, I'd rather have something like an induction receiver, you know?
Yeah, which is you just put your deck on things and bam.
Yeah,
You're good.
or hardening. I'd rather have hardening than an extra d6 of initiative. Excuse me, an extra
I'd rather have
5 boxes
self-destruct.
of damage.
No, self-destruct.
Self-destruct, best one, bro.
So someone can fucking hack
It's
into my
12
deck, see that I have a
and
self-destruct
$200.
module, and blow it up.
Dude, it's $200. Oh my god! You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna keep buying MCT trainee specialty decks for 17 grand, and then putting fucking
Self-destruct modules.
yes. Just give them to people. Fuck it. Just blow their decks up mid-job. I'm going to be the prankster.
Okay, so now that we've done this, that's pretty much all of them. They're really cool. Then we got the
Talk about modifications.
odd mods. You can customize your shit now, and they've done it in a pretty cool way. So you need parts. Parts are $250 each, or as a 5-pack, $1,000. Whoa, such cool prices. Sorry. So it is a lot cheaper to cannibalize by the parts, blah, blah, blah. So basically, hardware is so much more relevant now. So hardware plus logic check, and each hit that you get gives you 1 quarter of a part. When you're scrapping a device, you can scrap devices. If it's a Commlink, you get +4 dice. If it's another type of device, neg4, cyberware, +0. And if it's taking damage, you get -1 dice per modifier. But usually you're going to get about 1 or 2 parts, which is fine. But you make the modifications, which is a 15 hardware plus logic, 15 minutes. So 15-minute blocks each time you make the test, and you take a -1 if you don't have hardware tools, which is they're literally like fuck all money, like 1,000 or something.
Tools,
so
yeah, fuck all.
So you can either add a matrix attribute to a device that can't have one, which is funny, and you use 2 times the device rating, and it only starts at 1. You can add a module. You can hardwire a Cyberdeck module into a device. You need the module to only add to the device. Most devices only have 1 module. All their Cyberdecks have 2. So you can put it into Commlinks. Increase matrix attribute or modify a matrix attribute. So no, you cannot put a dongle into a device deck.
No.
And I know why, because you could get a really cheap deck.
What if
Right.
I got several Commlinks and gave them all different dongles, and then slaved them all to 1?
Can you do that?
I don't know.
Because I don't know.
I don't know.
I mean, I've actually heard it in the description that some decks are just a combination of Commlinks. But I think they've put it in so you can't break the game. I mean, on a home table, to be honest, I'd allow it. Because you can only do this in character. The DM, in my opinion, shouldn't be letting you do this because it gives you way too much of a boost. And also, it gives you nothing to work towards. So, because the problem with the deck, you have to pay like 100, 200, 300,000 before you get anything good. So I think this gives the deck something to move towards, which is just tinkering with the deck.
But the thing is, I'm pretty sure you can't use you still wouldn't be able to use programs. So you would have a really good like base deck, but no programs.
Oh yeah, you can't, can you?
Yeah. So plus the amount of fucking bulk because you're busy slaving a whole bunch of shit together.
Slaving 2 Commlinks won't be that much. But anyway, this is stupid.
2.
So let's continue. So
everything else is just, I think,
I'm pretty sure everything else is just a lot of bulk. Oh no, here's what's awesome: fucking proper stats for spiders. Oh my god, yes, I'm talking as a GM because there was fucking.
There's also new IC.
Yeah, there's new IC, which to be honest I didn't really use. I just make them make attack rolls. I don't care. I'm a bad GM.
Security spiders are they're pretty good actually. Oh my god. Security spiders is way better.
Look at this dude. They have full write up on hosts.
I know. I'm just looking at security spiders and I'm just thinking, wow, they're so much better than regular deckers. They start with computer group skill 6, cyber combat 5, electronic warfare 5, hacking 7.
Why do they got hack on?
They also have code slinger hack on the fly. Apparently, all security spiders have uncouth. They also have a device rating for deck that's set to 6 attacks, 6 sleeves, 5 data processing, and 7 firewall. They have really good programs, and they've also got cerebral booster.
But yeah, it's really cool that they have these, and you don't have to use these specifically for theirs. All the hosts have some really interesting write-ups. Tells you how IC work, tells you what their normal configurations are, the host rating, blah 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 blah. It's really awesome to see this kind of stuff. Did you know the Night Errant Seattle East Precinct host only rating 6?
Oh really? Oh my god! I should hack it. Holy fuck!
Attack 6, sleeve 7, data processing 8, firewall 9.
I don't care. I'm just going to use the thing that makes its firewall 1 and then invite everyone else to come and hack it.
Well, they have 2 junior security providers. Yeah, no, I mean...
mining host is rating 10. I love some of these pictures, though. I'm a dragon made of data. What?
There's a whole bunch of stuff here. I mean, there is so much cool shit. You got a junior security spider. Oh my god, look at these spiders, Declan. These are the best spiders in the game.
I'm coming down. What page is that on?
Free tuition. Sorry, 101. 104.
I love how you have the junior security ones though. Okay. Here's the standard security spider, because the last one I saw was like way too fucking brutal. Like, oh my god. Even this one's kind of brutal. I mean,
he's got 90 dice, which is how much I usually roll for things.
How much dice?
About 10, 9 dice.
Oh, that's good then, because the other one was like way too fucking brutal. It was like, Jesus.
That's how much I usually roll. That's just standard people too.
Yeah, no, like that's a good standard one. But the last one where it's just like, oh, excuse me, I'm essentially an out of character gen hacker plus.
Mm-hmm. All right, so next we get into the weird and wonderful world of foundations. Basically, Technomancer's Wonderland is a sentence I would say for this. It's basically it's weird. I don't know when you would use it, but it's cool. It's like a weird world where you go in and you literally your mental attributes become the physical, and your skills that you use are hacking skills subconsciously, and it's super strange. Not too sure why it's in, but it looks like fun. Might do a one shot about it. I don't know.
I've actually been in a one shot I've been in something like that once before. It was really fun actually, except it was a mage dragging us, forcing us to astrally project, and we went to a certain plane, and essentially like everything we had became like medieval, and the wizard himself was a lich. It was pretty funny. I are playing the D&D inside of the Shadowrun now. Also, you can make AIs. Let's not forget the AI characters now.
Yeah, I'm getting to that now. This is it here. Sorry, guys, if you're you're watching, you have to go. I'm pretty sure I've said it, so you're always watching me. Yeah. So pretty much you can make AI characters. It is, I think, needlessly complicated. But if you know the rule setting, there's a new priority chart. There's this new stat they've made called depth, which you should have high. And it's basically as the sacrifices you need to make as an AI. You're always a Metasapient AI, which, by the way, has a low intuition, which I was kind of disappointed by, actually. You have to be a Metasapient AI. You can't be Proto-Sapient. You have to be Metasapient. But you have a low intuition, which is annoying because intuition is one of the most needed skills for hacking. It's the second most highest mental attribute you should have. But nonetheless, it kind of makes sense. It's showing that your character is cold and calculated and intelligent, not necessarily intuitive, which makes sense, actually. As an AI. But
I am going to be an AI, Tom, and I'm going to live in your gun.
Go ahead. So you only get mental attributes, so that's why the attributes are so low. You get a thing called depth, which is basically your magic, which you use for resonance-like skills. But the things that you have to think about when making an AI is that do you want a home or do you want to be homeless and have a shit home? Because that's really, like, if you've already got a decker on a team, you live in his deck.
Yeah, his deck's pretty nice, by the way.
Actually, even if you just have someone with a rating 6 Comlink and just live in that.
Dude, AI
'Cause,
variant attribute tails, eghost racial, hello world.
Yeah, I don't know what this stuff does. Oh, there it is. Hello world. AIs with this quality have ingrained a set of sanity-checking measures that help prevent fragmentation of the disruption. Oh yeah, when you die as an AI, you go insane. You lose essence and you go mental.
Yeah.
AIs are constantly going insane, it seems. So yeah.
Yeah, so live in your
As you
decker's
get-
deck. It'd be great.
Oh yeah, and when you get converged, you usually go insane and stuff. It's pretty bad. Being an AI is super weird, and it could be a lot of fun. We'll probably
I think
experiment
being
with
an
this.
e-ghost would be pretty cool.
Yeah, I'd probably allow people to be e-ghosts.
I would love to be an e-ghost of a guy who died like when he was decking during one of the crashes, and he's just an e-ghost.
Hey, you get to be lucky. Basically, you're a human. I think that's what an e-ghost is.
Yeah,
Photographic
no, it
memory
is because
for
essentially,
yeah.
like, you're just a human. I like to run e-ghosts as people whose consciousness is merged with code during the crashes,
Mm-hmm.
so that
That's
like
what an e-ghost is.
yeah. I actually don't I wasn't sure exactly what an e-ghost is. I want to say because like it's a very specific
I
thing.
think that Technomancers dying or people basically their consciousness turning into an AI upon crashes of the Matrix when they're jacked in on hot sim. They died and their soul went to, I mean, it's all really weird. And there's
They all have their
just
own. They
basically
have their own programs.
they have super programs that are all really awesome.
Yeah,
I mean, this
e-ghosts
stuff
are
is
called
just,
ghosts in the machine, are very rare digital entities possessing the memories and personalities of people who died online, or otherwise their personalities captured by the Matrix somehow. It is unclear what actually causes them to manifest.
yeah.
Oh, UV hosts! Oh my god. Oh, UV hosts, dude. They're essentially like, it's like it's BLT to the extreme.
Yeah, that's what foundations are. They're UV hosts or foundations. That's what it is.
Yeah. I think
Yeah,
that's
that's pretty
mostly
much
it for dissonance. Dissonance, my friend.
Oh yeah, I didn't look at that, but we'll just talk about it.
I haven't had
I'm
so much of a look at it because I don't really want to play any sort of dissonance technomancers because things are kind of crazy. But
so dissonance basically just gives you a whole bunch of abilities. It's pretty much a toxic mage. It's all about corrupting things around you. That's it. You get a bunch of echoes. You can submerge and become a dissonance technomancer. I mean, with this book, I think they're missing a few things that were in the last book. More things with technomancers. People thought this book was going to help the technomancer. I think it made it worse in terms of statistically speaking.
yeah,
Deckers are even better
that's
than technomancers now.
that's the problem. Whenever like I love technomancers so much, but every new book that comes out, I always feel like you're like that kid on Christmas, and you open your present, and like what you get isn't bad. But then your brother called Decker opens his present, and it's clear that he's the favorite child.
Yeah, like to be honest, the stuff that they got makes complete sense. Customizing decks should have been in there already. I mean, who hasn't customized their computer? Come on. And decks that are preset that you can't change. I mean, I found it strange that you could change your deck stats. To be honest, I thought that was weird because in real life, it's very difficult and shouldn't be a free action. It would take you to reboot the thing to do it. But nonetheless, I mean, the Matrix is kind of that one rule set that everyone changes either through not reading it properly or just not liking it as much. And I do the same as well. And thus my players have the same conceptions that I have about the Matrix. They'll go off, read the Matrix rules for once, no offense. And they go, oh, that's not how it is. And tell me, I'm like, yeah, I know the whole time. I just didn't want to do it. So I told you otherwise. Which,
well, it's not even
obviously
that.
during these during these tutorials, don't worry, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to tell you the actual rules. But yeah.
Well, that's the thing. We usually feel the same about it, so we just ended up running it our way rather than someone else's way because it just makes a whole bunch more sense to us rather than anything else.
Yeah. But I love these source books that add little extras to the game. I mean, a lot of people hate them. Especially, I mean, when 3.5 did it. But I just love that shit. I love source books. I love adding to a game that I already love, and I like reading them. And also, if you, as you guys noticed, it's chock full of stuff that isn't just rules. There's a lot of what is this about? How interesting is it? And you know, it just talks about a lot of cool shit as well. So there's that.
It is honestly full of a lot of really cool stuff.
Mm-hmm. Alrighty. I don't even know how long that video went, but probably really long. So
I mean,
thank you guys for watching.
It's always going to go long because that's just how it is. I mean, like even a first impression, because there's so much. I mean, I'm just going to add my closing statement here because it's really simple. I'm happy because Technomancer's got some love, but I'm really disappointed because deckers keep getting more love, and I don't think that they're the ones who need to be loved anymore. I think they've got a lot of stuff, and this book needed more stuff for Technomancers. Like, it was a start, but they need more. They're just so far behind deckers. It's ridiculous.
Well, now Technomancers need a deck, which is fine, and there's more abilities to allow you to use a deck now, but I don't think that they need to.
Yeah, I mean, my conception of, like, because before this book, a lot of people told me, you know, just use sprites. But what if I don't want to use sprites? What if I want to be a good hacker because I'm a Technomancer? Like, what if I want to be a good biological instead of having to use sprites? And now it's just even more so. It's less viable to do that because deckers just keep getting ahead now that they can have 2 modules or 1 module, and that still puts them like way further ahead. I mean, granted, again, like stuff like Skin Link and some of the new stuff, they're good things, but we need more. Technomancers just need a little bit more to give them the same edge, because at the moment they don't have anywhere near the edge that a deck has got.
But then again, we don't really use sprites much. I mean, we should, but I think they are powerful.
I do whenever I play a damn Technomancer because they're great.
They're insane, and I guess if we use them more at our table more frequently, I mean, I think they may be more powerful because you can just go get me this piece of information and make them teleport to
but
just go do it, and then they come back and give it to you, and then it's over, and they'll be able to do it better than you can most of the time. That's the problem.
It's like spirits, though. You don't need to have spirits to be a mage. That's the thing. But like, I feel as if you really do need sprites to be a good like hacker as a Technomancer.
You 100% do. And I guess if that's the flavor they want, but to be honest, that's not the flavor I like out of the Technomancer. I like thinking that I mean, in all RPGs, I don't like my character calling on help from other things to do it, because I feel it's de-empowering my character.
Yeah, that's the same as how I feel. Sprites are cool, and I can definitely see characters like Technomancers would be kind of cool. Like the idea of a Technomancer who uses sprites as cool. But what I want out of a Technomancer is what I got in 4th, which is I am a badass who bends the Matrix to my fucking will. Not that I get things to do it for me. I do it.
Yeah, and you can really push the limit. But I think there's a lot of cool customizable things, and the Tinkerer is definitely more of an archetype you can play now, instead of just making extraneous rolls and looking at the DM and go, can I make this? You can now full on go ham on your deck, which is awesome.
You go full ham on anything now. It's so funny. Go full ham all over on your Commlinks, man.
So yeah, I mean, looking at this has kind of inspired me. Maybe I'll do an all decker run sometime in the Foundation, and that will be kind of fun. But for now, I think we're all good. I've said everything I wanted to say about the book. I guess.
I've heard that, and this is just what I've heard talking with my friends in Shadowrun. I'm not sure if it's confirmed because I haven't read through the whole thing, but apparently Technomancers might be getting more stuff, but in a small supplement book.
And that in this,
that's what I mean. That annoys me. But they did, and the reason why that I feel that it has some validity is that they did the same thing with Street Grimoire.
Yeah, they had
Shadow Magic.
Yeah, but Shadow Magic had Street Grimoire had some spells that Shadow Magic had, but nonetheless, yeah.
Other than that, I hope you enjoyed listening to us ramble about all this new cool stuff and toys for deckers.
This is definitely wasn't really an educational one per se, more than just us looking at it and getting our decisions. We probably won't be writing a full-on review about this. I mean, we don't really have a blog site at all. I mean, but nonetheless, I mean, the closing statements, from what I can tell, in my opinion, I didn't get what I wanted out of it because I wanted more shit for Technomancers, but also at the same time, I got more. So
Yeah,
I think it's a good book.
It's hard to hate the book.
I probably wouldn't buy it, but I would most definitely read it. I'll let you interpret that how you will. But nonetheless, thank you for listening. I'm Master Blah.
And I am Hobo.
Do a flip. See you later.